So I'm here in the garage again doing a little bit more wrenching. As I mentioned before, I figured this was worth documenting. I took this bike to the Pine Barrens and ran around the mud, was in the sand, and one of the things that I noticed, actually had heard complaints about this motorcycle, that this front mud guard right here on the XE models, some of the XE models it comes standard, and you can get it on either the XE or the XE aftermarket, but it sits right up against this radiator here. And what happens is, and you can see all the dirt and stuff I knocked off of it, what happens is, yeah, sure, it protects the radiator from damage. If a rock slings up from the tires and hits the radiator, it hits the guard, it keeps the radiator safe. But as you can tell, it still catches a lot of shit. So I talked to some of the guys down there, and they figured if you could just separate, because literally, I mean, I'll show you the fitment real quick. This radiator guard goes right up against the radiator. There's really no room at all for the dirt to escape. So what happens is it kicks up in here, it cakes, and then your bike overheats. It happened to me about halfway through the ride on Sunday. We basically had to knock all the dirt off and then took a wrench and knock it all out of this little area right here. We just basically just rattled it out of there. So the guys were saying, what if you could just take a little spacer, a little rubber spacer, and see if you could correct that gap so that the dirt would have a place to go. So this is what I'm going to try to do. See if the bolts are long enough to actually make a difference here. These bolts are actually pretty easy to take off. And sorry about the darkness. I'm working after dark here. So I'm going to work now to actually put these back on, and with the spacers in, and I'll show you the end result, see if it makes a difference. Got a little dirtier than expected. I ended up having to take the front mud guard off just so I could have better access to this bolt. You know, I think it saved me about a ½ inch, and you can see these. Here's the top spacer here. It's all like Loctited up. I'm actually not sure how long that's gonna last. We'll see. It feels pretty sturdy on there, and I don't really feel like wrenching it much more, because then I lose what I'm trying to gain. And you can see down here, there's another about ½ inch that I didn't have before. Hopefully enough for the dirt to travel out, because it was actually piled up against the bottom of this radiator guard. So yeah, we'll see how that works next time I play around in the dirt, and I'll keep you guys posted as to the adventures of this bike. A really capable off-road machine, despite what people are saying online about this thing. I mean, it really performs well off-road. I've got some TKC 80 Continentals on here, and just all the confidence in the world when you're out there. So this is my little homemade mod to see if I can solve that issue of dirt clogging up this radiator guard. And I have another video of how to install this front windscreen as well, which I'll be posting soon, so check that one out. Yeah, and probably my next video is cleaning this thing up. I got some muck off, and we'll try to make this thing looking good as new. So stay tuned. Thanks.